The scoreboard in 15, and of course yeah, we are to take you through all the sporting stories and make it around there in the exciting world of sports. Well, definitely the FIFA Club World Cup tops out the list of our conversations this lovely morning, and then we talk about a bit of athletic stories. Oluwatobiloba Amusan, she was in action yesterday. You talk about the world record holder in the 100 meters hurdles race, and then we talk about what else. Well, the verdict as concerning Lyon Football Club. Yes, for this side, they've been relegated to the League 2. And then remember that late last year, there was that conversation around them being relegated into the League 2. But at this point in time, it is concluded that they are going to be playing in the League 2 next season, despite all you tell that the board of Lyon said that they are going to come up with that a statement, and also they are going to defend that what has happened within their football club. So we discuss about all of these on today's edition of the show, right here on 32 FM 94.9. Yes, I know that the BBC Premier League update has started by to give us updates as regards what Chelsea Football Club did yesterday in the bid to reach the round of 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup. Yes, they won by 3-0. George was on target, and then Liam Delap, the Englishman, scored his first goal in the colours of the Blues. And then you tell that it was an exciting 3-0 victory for the Blues against that African side, Esperance de Tunis. So we join our partners definitely now to take a listen to what they have for us. Remember that the FIFA Club World Cup, we only have two English sides. Manchester City are also going to be in action in a bid to reach, well, they are in the round of 16, but definitely just to solidify their spot in the round of 16 of this year's FIFA Club World Cup. We join our partners now, the BBC, to take a listen to what they have for us on that front of the BBC Premier League update. When we come back, we'll talk about other sporting stories.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Shabnam Yunus-Jewell at the BBC Sports Centre. Chelsea.
Pressure on me, on the players, in terms of we need to win this tournament because of the money. They just want to try to win for everyone, for them, for the club, for the fans, for the players, for everyone. It's not just about the money.
Meanwhile, Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson is ruled out of the game after his red card in their defeat to Brazilian side Flamengo. After a review into the Senegalese forward's challenge on Flamengo defender Lucas Ayrton, his one-match ban has been extended to 2 games. Elsewhere, Chelsea goalkeeper 𝐃𝐈𝐒 Arrizabalaga is set to join Arsenal this week to become their number 2 to compete with fellow Spaniard David Raya. 𝐃𝐈𝐒 has a $6.8 million release clause after adding an extra year to his contract last summer after a successful loan spell at Bournemouth. And Bournemouth's Alex Scott says his Premier League and international experience will be key ahead of their European Under-21 Championship semi-final. England face the Netherlands in Bratislava.
And obviously, I had it with the 19s. A few of us lads had it, so we've got that sort of experience of what it takes to, win semi-finals and win finals as well. So, that's definitely going to help us. It's the main part of the tournament now, and knockout, you don't get a second chance like you do in the group stages. So, yeah, excited. It's going to be tough. We know that, but like I said before, we're ready. We've prepared well.
And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
All right, there you heard the BBC Premier League update. But updates from the games that went down yesterday at the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, I could tell you that we have 8 teams already concluded that the group stage games, and you tell that they are in the round of 16 of this year's FIFA Club World Cup. But yesterday, you tell that Auckland City, they scored their first goal in this year's edition of the FIFA Club World Cup as they held the Boca Juniors to a 1-1 draw. And for that result in which they got, you talk about one man who definitely was at the fulcrum of that. It's the man who scored for that Auckland City that in the game against Boca Juniors, Christian Gray. He is 28 years old, a physical education teacher from New Zealand, and he scored against Argentine powerhouse Boca Juniors at the Club World Cup. yesterday. 1-1 it ended between both sides. And for Benfica also, they raised the 2-0 lead in that game against the that's Bayern Munich, and it was that. 1-0 was the full result of that group game. And then for Benfica, they finished the top of that group. Chelsea elsewhere defeated Esperance de Tunis by 3-0, and LAFC drew to Flamingos 1-1. For Flamengo also, they topped that group with that's 7 points in this group. But later today, we would have Borussia Dortmund face-off against Ulsan by 8 p.m. And then Mamelodi Sundowns also will be up against Fluminense by 8 p.m. And in the early hours of tomorrow, Rawa Reds will be up against Monterrey, Inter Milan against River Plate. But we will come in the afternoon to definitely look at the chances of all of these sides qualifying into the next round, which is the round of 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup. But we switch our focus now and move away from the FIFA Club World Cup games and talk about a bit of football stories. And this is concerning which football club? That's for Lyon Football Club. Yes, for Lyon Football Club, they have been relegated to the League 2 due to unresolved financial problems. Well, this is not the best for them. After a 175 million euros that debt and no clear financial plan led to a transfer ban and relegation. But remember, yesterday I was telling you that their owner, that's talking about the man himself, that's Kaito Textor rather. This man who is in charge of this club side, definitely sold his stake at Crystal Palace, and at this point, it is not the best of stories for them at this point. But you talk about the things that are happening to them. Lyon sold Ryan Cherki for 42 million euros, and John Textor sold his Crystal Palace shares for 237 million euros. And then you talk about how the debt is still going on for Lyon Football Club. Well, we don't know how that is, but the DNCG have ruled that the club's finances have not improved enough. Olympique Lyon, they are going to immediately appeal the incomprehensible decision issued by the DNCG. But we'll come later in the afternoon, also myself and Peter, to take a look at all of this financial struggle for Olympique Lyon Football Club, 7-time French champions. In the year 2020, they reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And then we move away from that also and talk about some other sporting stories, which definitely involves that Oluwatobiloba. It was an easy win for Toby Express. That's what we call her. She got back to winning ways at the Ostrava Golden Spike Meet, comfortably winning the women's 100 meters hurdles with a time of 12.45 seconds. Tobiloba was way ahead of her closest challenger in the race. That's talking about Victoria Foster, who was second in a time of 12.74 seconds, and Cyril Lavin of the Republic of Ireland, who came third with a time of 12.76 seconds, who both ran season best. And then we'll talk about Tobiloba Amusan, who is gradually getting into full reading for the athletic season. All right, moving away from that, also we discuss about tennis stories. That's a second seed Jasmine Paolini overcame a brave fight back from Leila Fernandez to defeat her 7-6, 7-6 in the dramatic round of 16 clash at the Bad Homburg Open. That was yesterday, in which Fernandez saved 4 match points. And then you tell that it was a good one for the Italian as well. For Iga Swiatek as well, she was in action. And then I could tell you that for Iga, it was a good victory for her as she defeated Azarenka in straight sets 6-4, 6-4 and secure a spot there in the quarterfinals. And still talking about tennis stories on the show this lovely morning, Barbara Krejcikova, that's the battle that's true. That's at the Windy Eastbourne, and she saved her 2 match points on the way to a 6-3, 6-7 victory over Britain Ariadat at the Eastbourne Open. That was yesterday. Well, the Krejcikova would return to action last month after a back injury had kept her out of action since November. The game went down in 2 hours and 40 minutes as she won that game against Ariadat. Definitely for Emma Raducanu also, who was in action yesterday. You tell that it was a good one for Emma Raducanu also. She got the better of that opponent. That was yesterday, 6-7, 6-3, 6-1. For Wu, that's former Australian Open champion Sophia Kenin of the US. Also, she was beaten 6-4, 6-4 by Kimberly Birrell. That's in the world of tennis. But before we leave the tennis stories, well, a French sensation at the age of 21. Well, definitely you tell that it was not the best of that Wimbledon qualifiers for her. Remember that she reached the semi-finals of the Roland Garros. That's talking about Louise Boyson. She was eliminated in the first round of qualifying for the Wimbledon yesterday by 197th ranked Canadian. That's talking about Carson Bernstein. Well, you tell that it was also a good one for them. And you tell that when we talk about all of these stories, it was a windy court also for her. And we quickly talk about football stories on the show this lovely morning once again, where RB Leipzig, they have appointed Ole Werner as their new coach with a contract until 2027. That's according to the update from the German Bundesliga football club. It was not the best of last season for the German side, and they are looking to better their performance this season. And when talk about bettering their performance, it is said that they want to let go of Benjamin Sesko. Who else? One of their top stars in Xavi Simons as well is one of those players who looks like he is going to leave the football club. But we cross our fingers to see what will happen at the end of the day. Brazilian forward Neymar, he has also signed a contract extension with Santos through the end of the year 2025. The football club made this announcement, and the deal includes an option to extend his contract to the year 2026 World Cup next summer. While his previous contract at Santos was due to expire on June 30. And remember that for Neymar, he rejoined his boyhood club in January after terminating his contract with Saudi Arabian club Al-Hilal by mutual consent. All right, before we leave the show this lovely morning in the month of July, there in Lagos, we would have the WTT Lagos contender. The games would go down, and you tell that the players who are coming, the top-ranked stars, they are going to fight for the prize money here in Nigeria. It was a good last edition in the year 2024, where you tell that it was the German who won, defeating Walter that's in the finals as well. And you tell that it was a good one for the man himself. But the much anticipated WTT Contender Lagos 2025 has officially unveiled a world-class player lineup ahead of its return from July 22nd to the 26th of July in Nigeria's dynamic commercial hub. That's talking about Lagos State. But we go now and come later in the afternoon to discuss more sporting stories and make it around today in the exciting world of sports. Well, we'll discuss about the Super Falcons of Nigeria. To take a listen to the words of head coach Justin Madugu as regards why that's talking about one of the Super Falcons player is not on the list. Talking about Gift Monday. And then we'll discuss about Lyon also, where will come in the afternoon, and the FIFA Club World Cup. Some teams who definitely are out of the FIFA Club World Cup, and teams who definitely are vying for a spot in the